Tulips. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am in a different position again. I'm in my kitchen, period. The lighting is nice. I like my why are you shaking, Miss Girl? But yeah, in today's video, we're going to be analyzing a different form of media from the typical media that I analyze, which is films and television. We're going to be looking at a particular TikTok trend. I thought this trend was very interesting, and I had noticed a few things about it that I thought were worth talking about, because trends on TikTok have a very big influence on people. TikTok has blown up respectfully in the past few years, and I feel like at this point everybody's on TikTok, no matter what it is your interests are, because TikTok has a community for every niche. I've been on TikTok for a little bit now, and I've noticed that again, every community has their own space on TikTok, whether you're into stocks or you're into fashion, or you just want to watch something funny, or you want to watch baddies do their little dance. Everybody has a spot on TikTok, and if you wanted to, you could definitely go on TikTok to either entertain yourself or to gain more knowledge or have some inspiration. TikTok is really interesting because you can find so many creators on TikTok, because once you open up the app, your front page is your For You page, and on your For You page, you are constantly being showed videos from creators that you've never seen before or creators that you don't follow, because TikTok is always putting up new people's video on the For You page, and depending on how popular or how much people watch your videos, you can easily blow up on TikTok. It's not as difficult to blow up on TikTok as it is to blow up on, say, YouTube or Instagram. You can definitely reach a lot of people through TikTok, and you can definitely find and discover a lot of people on TikTok and end up on weird sides of TikTok that you probably didn't expect to be on. So trends definitely skyrocket on that app, and like I said in this video, we're going to look at one that has definitely taken over, and that's the that girl trend. The that girl trend is basically where girls create a visual collage of their daily routine, and it looks very aesthetically pleasing, looks very productive. The girl looks very well kept and put together. She wakes up early, has a healthy breakfast, she works out, she's productive, she studies. Her apartment, which she lives in an apartment, is always very clean, very dainty, very aesthetically pleasing. She's something straight out of a Pinterest board. And because TikTok is a social media platform, you can definitely make your life look a certain way that's very different from reality. But there are so many young people on TikTok who can't really differentiate that TikTok is, again, social media. And I know that the that girl trend has definitely taken off to the point where it's also on YouTube. I have seen on my YouTube page a couple of videos being suggested to me by YouTubers who have videos titled like "Become That Girl With Me." So it's something that everybody is striving for, and by everybody I guess I mean like girls who are within the age range of like 15 to like, I don't know, 23. This trend is definitely trying to promote a healthy lifestyle and positivity and making yourself the main character of your life. I can say for a fact that I see how this trend is trying to promote something very positive, but unfortunately what it's doing is actually the very opposite of that. This trend is very exclusive to a certain group of women that doesn't include everybody, and also isn't achievable for every woman, and it makes a lot of people feel like they can't be that girl unless they live the same kind of lifestyle as these girls do. So in this video, I wanted to point out why the that girl trend is actually very exclusive and isn't as positive as I guess it wants to be, and then my thoughts as to how we should, I guess, go about things after everything I've said is already said and done. I also want to give a very quick disclaimer and say that I don't bash any girl who has posted a that girl video or is posting that girl videos on TikTok or on YouTube. More power to them. Their life looks great. I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that these girls are purposely trying to perpetuate a negative message. I'm just simply taking a critical look at things and sharing that with anybody watching this video. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. One thing that I've noticed in the majority of these girls who post videos within this trend is that they're all skinny white girls. Like I said, that girl is fit, she works out, but when you're constantly seeing already skinny white girls working out who already look like the ideal figure, if you don't look like her, it definitely sends the message that you can't be that girl. If you're not skinny, if you're not already fit, also if you're not white, you can't really live the that girl lifestyle. So it's very exclusive to skinny girls and skinny white girls. There's obviously a cultural difference for everybody. If you're a part of an ethnic group, you're probably not eating on a daily basis what these white girls might be eating, just because your dishes at home are probably different. What you're eating at home is probably different. Also, if you're on a fitness journey, you're probably not already at your ideal physical look just yet, because again, health is a journey, and these girls are already embodying a very healthy, or I guess idealistically healthy figure. And I think we can all agree that race does play a role in, you know, how you live your day-to-day life. The way I live my day-to-day life might be different from my friend who's African, might be different from my friend who's Asian, because we all have our own traditions and we all have something, a part of our day that might come from our own culture. Me, for example, I wake up in the morning and I pray, because there's a prayer in the morning that I usually miss. So that's the way I start my day, is by praying. And that's not gonna look like the same kind of prayer that maybe a Hindu girl is doing or even a Christian girl is doing. So I know that that is very particular to a Muslim girl or a South Asian girl's morning. And it's definitely different from that girl. So if you don't physically or racially look like that girl, it already makes you feel like you could never be that girl. You'll never fall into the that girl lifestyle, which looks like the ideal lifestyle, because you just won't ever be white if you're not white. And if you're on a fitness journey, like you're trying to lose weight or maybe you're trying to gain weight, you're not gonna look already fit from the jump, right? It's a journey, it takes time. And to see these picture perfect images of health definitely excludes a lot of us who are going through a fitness journey or a health journey. I've also noticed that every single one of these girls on the that girl trend all live in these beautiful luxurious condos that have a beautiful view and have really big windows and have very aesthetically pleasing layouts, furniture, a very clean, neutral colored apartment to themselves. If they have a roommate, they're never in sight, so it looks like they have an entire place to themselves. And I've also noticed that these girls definitely do come off as pretty wealthy. You know, their apartments look very nice, so that already shows a lot of wealth. And then also sometimes I've been seeing clips of things that you can't really just have unless you have a certain amount of money, right? Like sometimes I'll be seeing in these trends, you know, going out to eat or grab some food, grab something healthy. And we all know that buying healthy food from a restaurant definitely costs quite a bit of money. Even some of the like gadgets in their kitchen or the stuff that's in their house looks very, very expensive. And so if you're not wealthy, if you're not rich, and if you can't afford to have certain food in your house or to buy certain food from restaurants or have certain things within your space, you can't be that girl, because you just don't have the means to afford it. It's a lifestyle that looks very luxurious, looks a little bit pricey. I've definitely seen some girls show up on my For You page who are from Toronto doing the that girl trend, and their apartments look beautiful. And I know for a fact that I could not afford that right now in my life, because bro, rent in Toronto is illegal the way it is so pricey. Like it is crazy expensive down here. So if I was someone who really wanted to embody that girl, I know I wouldn't be able to just because I couldn't afford certain things that that girl can. Another thing is that that girl only has herself as a responsibility. And that is just not the truth for many of us. There are definitely a lot of girls, young girls too, who are responsible for more than just themselves. They have to go to work maybe to be able to support themselves or maybe even their families. They have to take care of siblings at some point of the day. And in the that girl trend, I have never seen a girl, you know, go to work or take care of anyone except for maybe a pet. She looks like she's definitely living in a world where she has the comfort of being able to just focus on herself. And that's not the case for many of us. Many of us do have someone else that we have to look after, whether it be a sibling or maybe an elderly person in our family, or even ourselves by going to work and having to provide for ourselves to an extent. I know for me, ever since I was 14, there's an aunt. Ever since I was 14, I worked a part-time job. When I was 15, that was when I started working a part-time job while being in school. So definitely on my daily routine, you would see me, you know, go from school to work, because that was a responsibility that I had to fulfill. Like I couldn't just come home and focus on myself and do my own thing. I had to go to work, and I still have to go to work. So if you're somebody who doesn't have the luxury of just being focused on yourself and focus on things that matter to you, you're not gonna be able to relate to that girl, because you have different responsibilities. And the last thing that I'm going to point out, which is kind of an obvious thing, but it's that everything has to look good. Everything has to look very clean, very proper, very aesthetically pleasing. I've seen a lot of girls on the that girl trend. I keep saying that girl. It sounds so annoying. But on the trend, I've seen a lot of girls, you know, show themselves studying, and it looks so calming. Like, it looks so perfect that I'm like, am I studying right? Like, am I doing school right? Because it don't look like it. I've seen some girls with like that thing that you can put your laptop on and they're typing away, and they've got maybe like a little pile of notes and some cute, you know, pencils or markers or pens or whatever, and it looks very put together. But realistically, if you're studying and you're studying hard for something, it doesn't always look like that. You've got like 10 tabs open on your laptop, you've got like 14 different notes laid out on your table, maybe like 2 textbooks wide open, hella markers and pencils everywhere because you're like writing notes constantly. Like, it can look a little bit chaotic or a little bit messy just because there's a lot going on, and it's hard to make everything look perfect if it's not going perfect. Like, studying is something that is different for everybody. Everybody has their own way of being able to study, but it definitely does get really hectic. It doesn't look good all the time, and it's not supposed to. You're supposed to study however it works for you, but everything on the that girl trend looks absolutely prim and proper. There's no space and no room for something that looks more realistic, something that looks more genuine. The next thing I want to point out is the whole idea of that girl. Who is that girl? Who is she? Is she the manic pixie dream girl that every guy wants to have in his life because she has everything that he wants in a partner and she's quirky and cute? Is she the femme fatale where she's such a beautiful and attractive woman who can ruin a man's life because she's so seductive and manipulative? Or is she the popular girl who everybody wants to be because she's so pretty and she's got money and she's got people attracted to her? Like, who is that girl? I just listed a bunch of examples of that girl. The way that film and television portrays that girl, the girl that everybody wants to be to an extent, or everybody strives to be, because she's just got it all and she attracts people and makes life look so good. Everything just works out for her. Every man wants to be with her. Every girl wants to be her. She comes in various forms in film and television, but when we look at these tropes, we know that in real life it doesn't work like that. You know, you're never going to be the manic pixie girl, you're never going to be the femme fatale, you're never going to be the popular girl without falling apart, without actually being completely unhappy. These things don't exist in real life because humans are too complicated. We can't just be a perfect image of something. We don't just come down to a trope. So what's the image of that girl that we're chasing after? The trend is entitled something like being the best version of yourself. It's literally titled that girl. The title in itself starts to get girls to chase an image of themselves that looks good to other people, that looks good from the outside, rather than chasing a real life, realistic goal of living a healthy lifestyle that is suitable to the individual person. Like I just listed, the entire trend is very exclusive to a certain group of women. And if you don't fall under these categories, or if you can't check off the list, then you can't be that girl. Essentially, you'll be chasing an image that you can never be. And I feel like what it also does is it makes girls feel like, well, if I can't be that girl, then I'm always gonna be, you know, less than that girl. I'll always be second best compared to that girl. I'll never live the ideal happy lifestyle because I just can't. I don't have it. I don't have the things I need to have to be that girl. I think what's important, instead of chasing an image of yourself that might not truly be you, is to focus on what makes you happy and what looks healthy for you and your lifestyle. The trend in itself is very cute. It's very pleasing to look at, but it doesn't actually portray real life and honestly what it's like to be someone who is working towards having a healthier lifestyle or being happier with themselves. Its focus is on looking like someone who's got it all going together for other people to see, not for themselves. I could literally make a video and make my life look so perfect and show it to you guys, and it would definitely look like I've got my shit together. But I know outside of this TikTok that I've made that my life is not as put together as it looks. And I think chasing that idea of having everything all together all the time is one that's very unrealistic and also toxic, because life doesn't work like that. Your life can change in a split second. You can can have everything going perfectly one day and the next thing you might not, and that's fine. That's okay. I've said this in my previous video, but I'm on lockdown because my city is on lockdown, and I've been spending a lot of time by myself, working by myself, and in a way it has been, you know, peaceful because focusing on myself, my attention is completely on myself. Some days I wake up and I have super productive days where I list everything that I have to do and I do it, I get it done, and I go to bed feeling really good about the day. And then the next morning I might feel totally out of it. I'm not really in the mood to get up early. I might not finish everything on my list because I'm just tired, or I'm just not feeling my best for whatever the reason might be. I might work out one day, then not work out the next. Like, life is too complicated to always look so good. That being said, I definitely do think that everybody should be romanticizing their life. Everybody should strive to have whatever it is that they want to have, no matter how far-fetched it looks. Romanticizing your life can be whatever it is to you. It could be buying yourself some flowers and having some flowers in your bedroom, making yourself some tea before you start your work. It could be taking a nice calming bath before you go to bed. I definitely think everybody should focus on making their life luxurious, however that might look for them. There's nothing wrong with trying to make your day or something that you're trying to get done look good, because that's you just romanticizing your life, which, like I said, you should be doing. But what TikTok's trend is doing is not allowing people to romanticize their own personal lives. It's just creating an image that girls are striving for that is unachievable and very exclusive. I don't even want to sit here and say that all skinny, wealthy white girls are living this lifestyle or would want to live this lifestyle or can live this lifestyle even if they wanted to. They could definitely fit into the category a lot better than anybody else, but even then, it's just not a realistic trend. But even then, it's just not a realistic image of living a productive and healthy life. So to wrap up this video, I think we should change the focus from trying to be that girl to being the best version of yourself, romanticizing your own life, celebrating yourself, focusing truly on yourself and what's important to you, and creating good habits for yourself and breaking out of your own bad habits so that you can live a more fulfilling and happy life. I wanted to make this video because media has a big influence on us in the way that we think. I know for me, for a fact, even though I'm at this big age where I'm 19 years old and I can, or I'm more likely to be able to differentiate what's just solely social media versus reality than maybe a girl who's like 14, 15. I still have moments when I watch these videos, and I did have moments where I would like watch these videos and be like, wow, like these girls are really living the good life. Like what am I doing wrong? Like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I live that life? What the fuck? And then obviously I had to think about it and be like, well, that's because it's just not realistic and it's not achievable for everybody, but that doesn't mean that my life can't be as exciting or as fulfilling. So I hope any of you guys who are active on TikTok or who have been seeing this trend or who just wanted to know what's up in pop culture got a little something out of this video, was a little more educated on a trend that comes off trying to do one thing but instead is doing something different. I hope in whatever way, shape, or form you have to do it, that you romanticize your own life and live your best life possible. Summer is basically here. It's looking so nice and pretty here in Toronto, and I'm very excited for the lockdown to be lifted. I'm very excited to get vaccinated. I'm getting vaccinated this weekend, actually. I hope you all get vaccinated as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.